Hey guys, Scout here, the Hopeless Wanderer. So where am I today, you may ask? I am in Deer Lodge, Montana. And as you can see, it's a beautiful day. I found myself a little bit ahead of schedule, so I thought I'd explore the town for a little bit. So I am at the Grant Coors National Historical Site. This ranch, which is still a working ranch by the way, preserves over 130 years of Montana's open range ranching history. As you can see, it's a pretty cool little site. Everything is still pretty original. This is the historical section. Now this ranch was founded by a man named Johnny Grant. Johnny Grant was a French Canadian from Quebec. He came out to the Montana Territory looking for his father, who had left shortly after his birth. He was able to locate his father, but his father had already remarried and had started another family. So he was kind of left out in the cold to fend for himself. Now, being a resourceful sort that he was, he found that he could take well-rested cattle and horses over to Emigrant Pass, and he could trade them 2 for 1. He could take one well-rested animal and trade it for 2 road-weary animals from the immigrants traveling the Oregon Trail and the California Trail, and he could build up his herd that way. So this is what he did. He would take 2 for 1. He'd bring the 2 road-weary animals back to this valley, let them rest, recover, fatten them up, and in the spring, take them right back to Emigrant Pass, trade them off again, 2 for 1, and that's how he built up his herd. Now, he lived in this house behind me here, right up there. He lived in the front part of this house for several years. And his wife passed away. He was ready to kind of get out of the ranching business. So what he did was he sold the ranch to Conrad Coors, who was a German butcher, selling beef and meat to the miners that had come through for the Montana Gold Rush. Now, Conrad Coors moved out here on a trip back to his home in Iowa. He met, courted, fell in love, and impregnated his wife, Augusta. He brought her back here. She was quite appalled at the condition of the house that they were living in. It was much akin to a frat house. Cowboys laying all over, bed bugs in the bed. She promptly kicked the cowboys out of the main house, took over the cooking, and started running the household as her own. Now, the inside of the house, Conrad Coors became a politician. He became very active in the cattle industry and legislative processes. Inside is very beautiful. It's you can take a free tour. There's no pictures or anything allowed inside, so I don't have any of that for you, but you can just see the incredible opulence. They have a standard 4-square table that you'd find in pretty much any ranch house in there. Now, the unique thing about this, because they would entertain because of his political aspirations, the table had 17 leaves that went in it. So expanded out quite huge. They had modern plumbing put in the house. The water was pumped up from the stream into a holding tank in the attic. They had gravity-fed sinks and toilets. And Conrad was a very forward-thinking man. He'd been back east. He saw that electricity was coming. It wasn't here yet in Deer Lodge, but when they built this back addition on the house, which you can see is this brick section right here, he had the forethought to run electric wires in it and run electric wires into the old portion of the house so that when electricity came to Deer Lodge, they were able to hook it up. Pretty cool little place. There's a blacksmith shop here with a working blacksmith. There's a camp cook out here giving you some cowboy coffee. I don't need my hair standing on end, so I took a pass on that, but you can take a tour of all the ranch buildings. You can take a tour of the house. You can talk to the blacksmith. You can talk to the chuck wagon guy. You can see all kinds of wagons and buggies, and they got a working Montana beaver tail hay stacker out there. That'll be running in a couple days. Not ready right now, but this is a free site. Just barely off the interstate. if you're passing through or you're in the Yellowstone area, you should definitely stop and check it out if you have any interest in ranching or the history of Montana and its early days. So anyway, I'm going to go check out the prison museum now and see what that has to offer, and then I'm going to kind of start heading west again. Hopefully I'll get maybe to the edge of Washington today, and we'll see where it takes us. So for now, I'm Scout. I'm out. Adventure on.